is Kevin Ross, and you know I got soul.
Alright, Kevin, so you mentioned over there that some of your influences growing up, a lot of old school artists for such a young artist, such as yourself. So talk about your sound a little bit.
My sound is R&B and hip hop, man. I grew up on old school music such as the Stylistics, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Curtis Mayfield, Smokey Robinson. I mean, you name it, I listen to it, and it bleeds through my music, honestly. So it's a mesh of the old and the new. So here I am trying to bridge the gap.
And during your performance, I saw a couple of clips. You were kind of playing some instruments on stage as well.
Yeah, I play keys.
Yeah, how did you develop those skills?
I picked it up. I picked it up in college. I went to Berklee College of Music. Shout out Berklee. And just being around dope musicians that are just way better than me. And I was just like, ooh, what's that? And just catching things, and I caught on to it.
Right. And something you mentioned, you went to university for music, which a lot of artists don't do. So what kind of advantage do you think that puts into your place?
It gave me an advantage. It gave me time to grow up. It gave me time to develop as a man and develop as an artist. You know what I mean? Ultimately, and I think that there's no shame in being 17 and going after your dreams. But when you have no clue what you're trying to do, like myself, college is a great, option to do. I encourage everyone to go to college if they can afford to go to college and if they're able to go to college. But if the opportunity is there for you at a young age, why not pursue it? You know what I mean?
And as far as from college to Motown, how was that transition? Like, how did it all happen for you?
From college, I moved down to Atlanta, and I started off as a writer. And I was writing for a minute, and I ran into one of my managers now, Ezekiel Lewis, and we really bonded. He heard some of my stuff that I was doing, and he was like, "Yo, man, I think we can get you signed." So I was like, "All right, well, let's just see, because I'm down here just writing." Ethiopia, that is now the president of Motown. We were introduced at BET event, Music Matters, because I'm a Music Matters artist as well. We met, and she thought I was dope, and she wanted to sign me. So 2 years later, here I am.
Wow. And you mentioned over there that you're going on tour with Maxwell soon.
I'm going on tour with Maxwell.
And we saw that you had a placement on the SWV project 2 years ago.
SWV, Johnny Gill. I have 4 records on Trey Songz now on this new album. So I did one that one here and there and writing still. You know what I mean?
So how do you kind of gain that respect from the veterans in the game, being such a young artist yourself?
I think it's about what you bring to the table, and you being fearless and being bold about your ability and your talent. You know what I mean? I was blessed enough on this new project that I have called Dialogue in the Gray, #DITG. I have T.I. and I have Neo on the project, and I remember on one of the songs I played Neo, just kind of a rough of it. And he was like, "Man, I just want to get on backgrounds for it." And he hopped on backgrounds, and of course, we ended up doing a song together. But I think that it's a humbling experience for people who are experienced and veterans of the game to respect you. And it all comes from, like you said, mutual respect and just pure talent and ability. And being bold enough to show it.
Right. So for your upcoming project, what producers have you had a chance to work with?
Including myself, because I'm producing a lot of this stuff. There's up-and-comers such as Jay Kitts. There's up-and-comers including Mayo and SK. Shout out to Troy Taylor and Ezekiel Lewis for executive producing the project. And Motown is backing it, so I'm truly humbled behind it. And they let me do me. You know what I mean? They let me do my thing. And you can't ask for anything else as a new artist, because there's so many new artists. It's like, you gotta do this, and you gotta do that, and we gotta make it to radio. I was blessed enough to do a project that I wanted to do sonically, so it's beautiful.
And lastly, for your album, because a lot of new artists are coming in, how do you kind of balance what's true to you as well as what's current on the radio?
As a writer, that gave me a great sense of it. Because you got to keep your ear to the radio. You got to keep your ear to all of the platforms that's out there, the YouTube, the SoundClouds, the Spotifys, you name it. There's always new music that's going on every day. So you got to be aware of it. You know what I mean? You can't just block it out and say, "Oh, it's garbage" or whatever. So with that being said, I found that balance. I figured out what was dope and what was going on the radio and found the happy marriage. So I think this EP, Dialogue in the Gray, will display that. Cool. You know what I mean?
And that's all we had for you. Anything
cool,
you looked at?
Hey, thank you for having me.
Cool.